Drive and Thrive is the second podcast I'm starting this year, and it has been in the making for a long time, at least in my mind. For the simple reason that it stems from my own personal and professional experience as a senior technology leader. My career spans over 3 decades now. Yes, I'm showing my age here. It spans across 3 continents and a good dozen roles and companies, including a company I co-founded and ran for 11 years. I have operated in startups, medium-sized businesses, and large groups. I've had a variety of roles ranging broadly on the technology to sales spectrum. Yes, I've been a salesman too in my days. I've been a sole worker at times, and then later leading a team of over 100 colleagues. I've worked in IT services, software sales, apparel, e-commerce, healthcare, financial services, and even consulting. What I'm trying to say is that one would imagine that I've learned a few lessons along the way. I might have even some battle scars on my back. Indeed, I have collected several pieces of wisdom, and I even have formed my own views on some of the most complex issues and challenges an executive person can face in the workplace. Today, as I position myself not only as a coach, but also as a chief technology officer, I will mostly come from this angle of sharing views, ideas, and advice primarily targeted at senior technology executives, leading teams in software engineering, information technologies, and digital transformation. If you are a team leader, an engineering manager, a tech director, a head of technology, this podcast is for you, focused on your everyday efforts and challenges, trying to foster a great engineering and innovation culture, whilst delivering against ambitious deadlines and within the ubiquitous constraints of the legacy. Having said that, this podcast more broadly reaches out to all of you people leaders out there with a view to give you actionable insights and advice for you to drive your strategy and to empower your team and yourself to thrive within the organization and the broader economy. In doing so, I would invite you to consider 2 core themes that we will explore and map out together, back and forth. The first one is ethical leadership, which is in my eyes essential to foster high performance. I mean, honestly, it sounds to me like a redundant statement in 2024. Can we still imagine and promote any form of leadership which is not fundamentally ethical? I seriously doubt anyone could say that. Nevertheless, the workplace is still rife with inappropriate behaviors and toxic practices. So at the end of the day, that's what it will be about, promoting ethical principles for modern leaders to adopt and adapt for their own teams. The second one is high performance, which should be the end game of any organization, really. And I really mean any organization. Performance should not be the central preoccupation and goal of only private corporations focused on generating revenue and profit for their shareholders. Performance does not always equate to money making, but more specifically to producing the best possible outcome in terms of product and service. So at the end of the day, even public services, non-governmental organizations, and not-for-profit businesses have the utmost interest in the deliverance of high-quality services. That would translate explicitly in their OKRs and KPIs, just as it does in any other money-making business. So off we go on our journey to talk about ethical leadership and high performance, and how these 2 aspirations productively feed each other. Today we start with high performance. In today's fast-paced and competitive business landscape, building and maintaining high-performing teams is essential for organizational success. As a corporate coach, I've had the privilege of working with numerous teams across various industries, and I've witnessed firsthand what sets high-performing teams apart from the rest. While there are numerous factors that contribute to team effectiveness, 4 key characteristics stand out as the pillars of high-performing teams. We'll talk about goals alignment, psychological safety, commitment to excellence, and transparent communications. Let's explore them and see how we work together to create the foundations for sustained high performance. But let's start with a definition of high performance. In a business context, there is a distinct difference between performance, high performance, and peak performance when it comes to teams and organizational success. Performance refers to the baseline, the level of input or results achieved by a team or organization that represents minimum expectations or standards that need to be met to remain operational and competitive. Performance is often measured against predetermined goals, targets, or industry benchmarks. High performance, on the other hand, goes beyond the baseline and represents a level of output or results that significantly exceeds the norm or average for a given industry or context. High-performing teams consistently deliver superior results. They demonstrate exceptional productivity. They exhibit a strong commitment to continuous improvement. These teams are characterized by effective collaboration, open communication, shared accountability, and a relentless focus on achieving their ambitious goals. Peak performance is the pinnacle of team and organizational achievement, where teams operate at their absolute maximum potential, pushing the boundaries of what is possible within their domain. Peak performance is often associated with exceptional innovation, groundbreaking solutions, and transformative outcomes that redefine industry standards or disrupt entire paradigms. Teams operating at peak performance levels are highly skilled, deeply engaged, and fully aligned with their mission and values. So to illustrate the difference, consider a sales team in a competitive industry. A sales team perform by meeting or slightly exceeding their quarterly sales targets, for instance. If they are high performing, they are consistently ranking among the top performers in the industry, exceeding the sales targets by a significant margin and demonstrating a strong commitment to continuous improvement. If they are at peak performance, they are shattering industry records. They're introducing game-changing sales strategy, and they achieve unprecedented levels of customer satisfaction and loyalty and advocacy. So it's important to note that peak performance is often just a temporary state, transient, and it requires an exceptional confluence of factors, including exceptional leadership, unwavering commitment, and a nurturing organizational culture that fosters innovation and continuous growth. So let's make sure that we don't confuse the outcomes of high performance with the conditions, right? If we consider the level of performance is the ultimate outcome, we must not confuse it with the pillars, the prerequisites, which will be the resulting traits and characteristics demonstrated by high-performing team. Right? So let me clarify. For instance, the fact that high-performing teams are able to self-organize, easily adapt to new objectives and other changes, is more the result of this team operating on the right foundations than a prerequisite in itself. The traits, characteristics exhibited by high-performing teams are often the outcome or byproducts of having the right foundations, principles, and processes in place, rather than being the foundational elements themselves. It is important to distinguish between the prerequisites, pillars, that enable high performance, and the resulting characteristics or behaviors that manifest as a consequence. Let me give you some more examples of traits and characteristics that are typically outcomes of high-performing teams rather than prerequisites. For instance, continuous learning and adaptation. It's true that high-performing teams are able to quickly adapt to changing circumstances and embrace new technology, processes, etc. This is the result of cultivating a growth mindset and fostering psychological safety in the team, and encouraging experimentation and feedback loops. See what I mean? Another example would be effective conflict resolution. So high-performing teams are able to navigate through conflicts constructively. They leverage different perspectives, they find creative solutions. Again, this is an outcome of established clear communication channels, promoting active listening and fostering an environment of mutual respect and trust. Right? Maybe a third example, if to make it clear, shared accountability and ownership on problems and deliveries. That's often perceived as being a characteristic of high-performing teams, but it's an outcome. It's true that high-performing teams take collective responsibility of their successes and failures, demonstrating a strong sense of ownership and commitment to the team's goals. But this is a trait that emerges from cultivating a culture of transparency, clearly defined roles and responsibilities, and a focus on shared values and objectives. Okay? So you could say the same about resilience and grit, right? It's not a foundation, it's a result, right? So these traits and characteristics are not prerequisites. or foundational elements themselves, but rather the manifestations or outcomes of having the right pillars in place, such as effective leadership, clear communication, shared values, nurturing organizational culture that fosters trust, collaboration, and continuous growth. Okay. So based on these preliminary considerations and the distinction between foundational pillars and resulting characteristics of high-performing teams, I would suggest the following 4 pillars. So starting with the pillar number 1, which is alignment. High-performing teams are aligned in strategy, in mission, in purpose, in values and goals. They are united in the pursuit of a shared vision. When every member is aligned on the organization strategy and mission, it creates a sense of direction and focus. This collective understanding enables team members to make decisions that support the greater good rather than individual interests. So to achieve this pillar, leaders must communicate the organization's objectives clearly and regularly, ensuring everyone is on the same page. Regular check-ins, goal-setting sessions, and transparent communication channels will help, of course, maintaining alignment over time, even when priority shifts and new challenges emerge. Okay. So pillar number 2, psychological safety. High-performing teams thrive in an environment where individuals feel safe to take interpersonal risks without fear of negative consequences. This sense of psychological safety is built on the foundation of trust, respect, and open communication. Team members are encouraged to voice their opinion, share concerns, and acknowledge vulnerabilities without the risk of embarrassment, marginalization, or punishment. Leaders play a crucial role in nurturing psychological safety by modeling behaviors that promote inclusion, vulnerability, and a growth mindset. This involves active listening to diverse perspectives, acknowledging their own limitations, and creating opportunities for constructive feedback and productive dissent. Recognizing and addressing instances of disrespect, hostility, or defensiveness, passive aggressiveness is essential to maintain an environment where team members feel empowered to contribute their unique talents and perspectives. When psychological safety is established, team members are more likely to engage in collaborative problem solving, innovative thinking, and constructive conflict resolution. They are more willing to take calculated risks, experiment with new ideas, and learn from failures, ultimately fostering an environment conducive to high performance and continuous improvement. Number 3, commitment to excellence. It's probably one of the key pillars too of high-performing teams that drive an unwavering commitment to excellence, setting lofty goals, aiming high, and striving to achieve exceptional results all the time. Team members are relentless in their pursuit of continuous improvement, actively seeking out innovative solutions to complex challenges, and embracing opportunities for growth. This mindset fosters a contagious culture where team members are inspired to push beyond their comfort zones, constantly raising the bar for themselves and for the organization. Again, leaders play a pivotal role in cultivating these pillars by setting ambitious yet achievable standards of excellence, providing resources for professional development, and creating an environment that celebrates learning and growth. Encouraging calculated risk-taking, reframing failures as valuable learning experiences, and recognizing and rewarding outstanding performance. That reinforces the team's commitment to excellence and continuous improvement. Furthermore, I would say that leaders should model an unwavering commitment to excellence themselves, consistently striving to improve their own performance and actively seeking feedback from team members. Fostering an environment of psychological safety where mistakes are seen as opportunities for growth rather than sources of blame or punishment, team members are more likely to embrace a mindset of improvement and actively contribute to the team's collective pursuit of excellence. Ultimately, this pillar enables high-performing teams to remain agile, adaptive, innovative, consistently pushing the boundaries of what is possible and redefining industry standards through their unwavering commitment to excellence. Pillar number 4, transparent communications and, as a consequence, effective collaboration. That's the last pillar, an important one too, of high-performing teams to thrive on this type of modus operandi. It fosters an environment where information flows freely, diverse perspectives are valued, and team members actively listen to and learn from one another. This pillar enables teams to leverage their collective intelligence, expertise, and experiences to tackle complex problems and achieve their shared goals. One more time, leaders are crucial in cultivating this by modeling transparent communication practices, by encouraging active listening, and creating opportunities for collaborative problem solving. This involves clear comms, the promotion of respectful dialogue, and ensuring that all team members feel heard and valued. Effective collaboration is facilitated by this culture of trust and psychological safety we talked about, where team members feel comfortable challenging assumptions, voicing concerns, offering innovative ideas without fear. Leaders should encourage cross-functional collaboration between teams, promote knowledge sharing, and break down the silos that inhibit the free flow of information and ideas. So, by embracing transparent comms and effective collaboration, high-performing teams leverage their collective intelligence. They can achieve this way superior results. This pillar enables teams to adapt quickly to changing circumstances, identify and address potential issues proactively. So, of course, there would be a lot of other topics to talk about, but again, there would be characteristics or outcomes of the pillars, high-performing teams, right? So, there's plenty that can come to mind. For instance, we talked about agility and adaptability. In my eyes, that's an outcome of the pillars, right? And we spoke about that, this ability to pivot and to change. Embracing diversity and inclusion is also a result of psychological safety and trust and open communications. Continuous learning as well it stems out of commitment to excellence, etc. Right? So I think we're in safe ground with these four pillars. Okay, so that's it really, and I hope it's helpful to help you build and sustain your high-performing team in your space with these four pillars: alignment, psychological safety, commitment to excellence, transparent communications, and effective collaboration. If you intentionally cultivate these characteristics or these foundations as a leader, you will create a team that is more engaged, more productive, and successful over the long term, no doubt. We are leaders, and it's our responsibility to create the culture and the environment that nurtures and supports these pillars and ultimately enables high-performing teams. So I ask you, what are the characteristics you think your team embodies today? And which areas require attention? Have a look. Think about it, right? Take the first step today by reflecting on your own team, its strengths, its weaknesses, and begin shaping and building these four essential pillars for them, really, so that they can form, storm, and perform as a team. It's important to recognize that building high-performing team is an ongoing process, not a one-time event. We must continually monitor team dynamics, provide support and coaching, and adapt our approach as needed to maintain alignment, foster collaboration, and drive results. If we stay committed to these four pillars and the additional characteristics mentioned, we can unlock the full potential of our teams and achieve sustainable success in this increasingly complex and competitive world. But I'm interested, what's your take on these pillars and on the characteristics of high-performing teams? Feel free to share your thoughts and experiences, right, in the comment section below on this video, right? This podcast is continued with a blog post, right? So feel free to read on and comment and thread and react and disagree. That's okay. I hope you found this presentation useful and clear enough. If it's not, I'm really sorry. But again, it's just the beginning of the conversation on high performance. So we'll come back to this topic again and again. Don't worry. But if you liked it, please give me a thumb up. That would be awesome, right? That will help spreading the word, the good word around for other leaders. And don't hesitate to subscribe because Drive and Thrive is a podcast just in the making. It's just starting. This is episode 1, and I've got plenty in stock for you in the next episode. So, on that note, I'll just let you go and wish you to be a good driver for your team and to make sure it thrives. Thank you very much. See you soon.